as soon as we create a vision, what happens is we have a paradigm. What are paradigms? Paradigms are a set of beliefs and actions that have created the results that we've gotten. Paradigms are actually a thermostatic setting. You and I have a thermostat at home. And a thermostat, what our thermostat at home does, it is measuring for temperature variance, right? So let's say you have set a temperature at 72 in your home. And if it drops below 72, you know the air is going to turn on. But if it goes above 72, you know the air will shut off. Do you agree? Yeah. Because what the thermostat is doing is it is measuring for variance. And what we call it, it's a cybernetic system. There's another cybernetic system that we know about is in the airplanes. When their pilots take off, they set course on this direction. And there's a mechanism in their airplanes that keeps us on that route. Now, let's say they deviate from that route, it's going to start, maybe it'll start alarming them, they'll give them a signal, and they will come back to course. Why is this important to you, and how does this apply to you? You and I have a cybernetic system. We have an internal set point that we have been operating from. We've had some old beliefs. We've had some old conditionings. We've told ourselves certain things. And that set point has been within us, right? That set point is how much money I can have, how much love can I have, how much, if I can change this job. We have a cybernetic system within ourselves. What we call is our subconscious mind. 94% of our behavior originates from our subconscious mind, which is our internal set point. So as soon as we create a vision of something different, the cybernetic system, our internal set point of what we've allowed for ourselves, will rise up, because it wants to bring us back into the set point that we have set. So it'll pull us back, and the paradigms show up in a very particular way. Paradigms show up in certain ways of thinking. Who do you think you are? You're too old. There's so many applications. Who's going to pick you? It is so hard. And what happens is when the paradigms start running the show in our mind, internally, what happens is we gravitate into going into struggle mode, and it's going to be hard. And we let the paradigm keep us hostage.
Rajika, I had a comment that I think ties in very well with that from Nancy. So she mentioned that she noticed her vision is not terribly attainable in the current media environment and would love to have the job that she got laid off from, which was well-paying, creative, low stress, and gave her the ability to be the single mom she is. So what she's struggling with is that she is finding that it's no longer attainable, and is sorry to be negative, but it's the truth. And I do see a ton of that, especially with recent layoffs too.
Okay. No, and Nancy, maybe at a level of fact, it is the truth. And I'm going to have you to challenge that. Is there somebody in your same industry is doing the thing that you would like to do and is doing it successfully?
She said, yes, for sure, but they are clinging to those jobs like their lives depend on it because they know those jobs are dwindling.
Okay. So is it that there are not enough jobs, or is it that the jobs that they're just so far and few?
She says, yes, not enough jobs.
Okay. But my question for Nancy is, okay, if this is what you would love to do, the passion of you doing this, is there another avenue that you could attain doing the same thing, but you could use your skill set in a different way? Is there a way that you can, yes, you have a certain skill set, but have you thought about some other ways that you could use your skill set and maybe even serve another industry that they might be needing you? Because sometimes what happens is we're looking at maybe just that same industry, and absolutely, because that is the logical mind will like, okay, look in the same industry, but could you take your skill set and the experience that you have, and is there another industry that you could support and use your skill set?
Nancy mentioned she was exploring that, but find she's getting rejected quickly because she doesn't have that direct experience. And I've personally seen a lot of that, Nancy. I'm a career coach myself, so I see a lot of that happening in the creative industry. And it may be that you need to very heavily expand your network in slightly a different sector that does align, because it oftentimes it does help now to have a person on the inside. But I completely understand that is half the struggle, and that rejection can be so impossibly hard. But she says she's a TV producer, worked for Nat Geo, trying to do communications, but doesn't have PR experience. That makes complete sense, Nancy. It's definitely, that's a big hurdle for sure. Just that entire industry, I know, can be really one of the first to get cut as well. So, and Ron mentioned with some training and other creative media help out, and maybe that would, honestly, maybe finding connections at PBS, at some of those other local ones based in DC. Yeah, but I think it's an excellent point, Rajika, about focusing on the transferable skills too, and seeing how you may be able to describe it in a way to say, like, although it doesn't show I have direct experience, I have the exact experience, just in a different font, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, and absolutely. And yes, at a level of fact, you are experiencing you're experiencing the rejection, and you're experiencing that it's not happening, and it's going back to and asking, okay, are there other, and we're going to do some sourcing later on, Nancy. Maybe there's an idea that you and I haven't even thought about, or as Laura shared some amazing alternatives, but maybe there's another way that you could use your skills even in different industry that you and I haven't thought about. Okay. So hold on to that. Don't let that thought go away.